More than a month ago, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose informed the leaders of our state that the Democratic National Convention this year is being held after the Ohio deadline for getting a candidate on the ballot for President of the United States. Obviously, that creates a problem. When this has happened in the past, the Ohio General Assembly has passed bills that have remedied the situation to ensure that candidates from both major political parties are in fact on the Ohio ballot. That's what has happened in the past. Now, after Secretary LaRose's statement this year, leaders of the General Assembly indicated they would work on bills to remedy this situation. The Senate has passed several bills that would remedy this situation. However, the House of Representatives has failed to do this. The legislature had session yesterday and again failed to take any action. This is simply unacceptable. Ohio is running out of time to get Joe Biden, the sitting president of the United States, on the ballot this fall. Failing to do so is simply not acceptable. This is a ridiculous, this is an absurd situation. Therefore, tonight, pursuant to Article 3, Section 8 of the Ohio Constitution, I am calling a special session of the Ohio General Assembly to begin this coming Tuesday, May 28th. The purpose of this session will be for the General Assembly to pass legislation ensuring that both major presidential candidates will be on the Ohio ballot in November, as well as legislation that would prohibit campaign spending by foreign nationals. It is important that when Ohioans cast their vote for President of the United States Senator, and many, many other officials this fall, that they have the opportunity to cast a vote for either of the major party candidates for these offices. It's important that when they go to vote for president, that Joe Biden be on the ballot as well as Donald Trump. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Governor, the foreign donation is regarded as and the ensuing PAC restrictions that would be with it is regarded very much as a poison pill by the Democrats.
Well, look, I don't know why this would be a poison pill. I'm not going to get into the merits of it, other than to say that I think when you ask most Ohioans, they would think that it's a ridiculous situation that a foreign national can come in to the state of Ohio, or not even come into the state of Ohio, and spend a significant amount of money to affect an Ohio ballot issue. We do not allow them to do that for candidates. Why in the world should we allow them to do that for a ballot issue? The Senate has already passed legislation in this regard. So clearly it is an issue. It's an issue that should be debated and should be dealt with one way or the other. Yes, there certainly is a need for a long-term fix, but a short-term fix is pretty darn easy to do. It's been done before. This is not hard, and it's just something that needs to get done. But yes, I would certainly like for the legislature, recognizing that parties have their conventions at different times during the summer, sometimes depending on who the incumbent president is, and they make their own choices. So it's not something that we should be dealing with in the future. But for now, I will be certainly satisfied with a short-term fix. We've done this in the past. We need to do it again.
Speaker Stevens says this is a non-starter, that, they are not going to bridge the divide in the House to get a legislative.
I missed the first part of your question.
Speaker Stevens said earlier this week, and I know that was before session, that the legislature, the House at least, is not going to come to an agreement on this. What is the special session going to do? What have your conversations with Speaker Stevens?
Well, I'm not going to talk about I don't talk about my conversation with the leaders, but I have had a conversation with the Speaker. I've had a conversation with the Senate President as well. Look, I'm the governor of the state of Ohio. I have an obligation to take this action. This is called in the statute an extraordinary action, an extraordinary situation. This is an extraordinary situation when we have the ridiculous situation that we have not taken action to deal with a problem that is, because of the way the Ohio law reads and because of when the Democrat convention is, it has the potential. It's not just the potential. His name would not be on the ballot unless a court would intervene. And we should not be looking to the courts to solve our problems in the state of Ohio. This is a very simple, there's a very simple solution to this problem, and we should take this action, and I believe the legislature will next week.
So, it's just a follow-up to it. How will it look like if the House of Representatives continue to delay this, and at the end of the day, President Biden is not on the ballot of Ohio State? How will it look like?
How would what?
How will it look like if
Well, I think it would look terrible if we have two major candidates. One is going to be president of the United States. One is president now. The other has been president. The American people, the people of Ohio, have the right to have these choices and make these choices. And I just think, for that not to happen, it's pretty hard to explain to anybody why in the world they would walk in and not have the choice of who to vote for. So but it's easy. It's easy to fix. This is not hard. It just needs to happen.
It's necessary that Republicans kind of, quote, get something in return for putting Joe Biden on the ballot, or do you think it ought to be a clean bill?
Look, I'm calling for the action on both these. I think we should not have foreign nationals interfering and spending money in Ohio ballot races. Ohioans should be dealing with this. And all that would be doing with this legislation is being consistent with what we do in regard to candidates. I just think most Ohioans would be shocked if they knew that you could have a millionaire or billionaire get involved in Ohio races, put ads up. I just think people would be shocked if they knew that. And that's what the law is today, and that's what it can happen today, and that is what has happened today. So I don't find it a very controversial issue. We'll see, and we'll see what the legislature does with that. But the Senate has already taken action on it. So these are two issues that are related, two issues that relate in the sense that they have to do with voting and what will be coming up in the fall.
But do you think it's necessary that Republicans get that in return for putting Joe Biden on the ballot?
I'm not going to comment about that. Look, again, the major point here is a presidential race that the Ohio voters have the right to be able to make those choices. They will make choices. But if one of the major candidates is not on the ballot, that's a very sad thing.
You said that has happened, that foreign nationals have made contributions to issues today. What are your examples?
My team can give you examples, but they've clearly contributed before.
Are you citing examples of, for instance, Senator Colley and Senator Gabbard have cited in the arguments in the legislature?
I don't know what they've said. We'll get you that.
Governor, you said you would prefer a permanent solution. The House bill has a permanent solution. The Senate bill does not. So why not prefer that one?
Look, permanent solution would be fine with me, but I will be satisfied, at least for now, if we can deal with this problem that Ohio is facing.
Governor, isn't technically an emergency right now when they really have until August 6th to pass an emergency bill and Biden can still make the ballot?
Well, first of all, I don't know anyone who thinks that there is the votes to pass an emergency measure. So we are really right up, I'm told. I talked to the Secretary of State today. I'm not going to quote him, but I did talk to him today. And my understanding is we are literally up against the wall here. That if we would go beyond Wednesday of next week, then when you do the math, you have some very, very serious problems. So I've waited. I've been patient, and my patience has run out. And I think the patience of the people of the state of Ohio, their patience should have run out by now as well.
This ongoing debate has obviously caught national headlines as well. What does this signal about the state of the legislature and the state of the Ohio government to the rest of the country?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, so. Anybody else? All right. Thank you all very much.
Can we get examples now of the, I mean, you're advocating for a bill to be put on this.
Well, whether or not, I believe it has occurred, I believe there's evidence it's occurred, but whether or not it's occurred, it's, again, I don't believe Ohioans feel that we should have foreign nationals, not citizens of Ohio, who are spending money to try to influence Ohio voters. I just don't think Ohioans are in favor of that.
I mean, I don't want to obsess on this, but the reason I ask is because repeatedly the examples used in the legislature is Swiss billionaire A is throwing it into left-leaning group B in Washington. Washington group is giving it to Ohio issues group.
Look,
The money loses its identity because it's fungible.
look, this is the legislature. I'm calling it back. They can debate this. Those issues can be, all the issues that you're bringing up here, those certainly can be debated at that time. The main point is we need to give the Ohio voters the opportunity to vote for either of the two major candidates that they want to vote for. And without action by the legislature or action by a court later on, that would not happen. Thank you.